Here we want to factor x squared minus x minus 56. And again, we're just factored into two binomials being multiplied by one another. So the first thing is we're taught in most Algebra 1 and Algebra 2 classes is just take a look at this number right here, 56. Since there's no what we call an a term, that's the number out in front of x squared. Since it's a 1, we quickly just can look back here at the minus 56. And we say, hey, what multiplies together to give me 56? Now, you have a couple of options. You got 1 and 56. Those will multiply together to give you 56. You got 2 times what? 28 will give you 56. You got 4 times 14 is another possibility that gives you 56. And then you got 8 times 7 that will give you 56. Now, it's got to be one of these pair. At the same time, these are going to multiply to give you 56, but at the same time, they need to add together to give you a minus 1 here. Now, since it is negative 56, one of them is negative and one of them is positive. I don't worry about that quite yet. I'm just trying to find the pair that's going to have a difference of 1, and it looks like it's 8 and 7. Now, it's always true that if this number is low, it's going to be the numbers that are closest together that multiply to give you the 56 or whatever number you're dealing with. If that number right there was very large, it would probably be the 1 in the 56 that you're going to use. So that's always a good idea to sort of get an idea. As soon as I see it, I knew that, hey, it's probably 8 and 7 because they only differ by 1, and the difference there is 1. So if it's small, I know I'm going to be using numbers that are very close together that multiply to give them my number. And if it's very large, you would use guys that are very far apart. So in this case, I can see it's 8 and 7. So I know that we're using x and an 8, x and a 7. Now I got to determine what goes here. One of them is a positive and one of them is a negative. Since it's a negative 1, I'm going to put my negative sign on the bigger number. So I put a negative on the 8, a plus on the 7, because I got to create a negative 56, and negative 8 times positive 7 is negative 56. Notice that a negative 8 plus a 7 gives you that negative 1 you want. This is what that factors into as far as two binomials. We can go back and double check that this binomial times this binomial gives me this. Now, as I've taught you, the first thing usually we're going to look at is x times x would give you the x squared. You notice you have the x times that 7 is going to be plus 7x, because the x times the 7 will give you that. I now have to distribute the negative 8 through. That'd be minus 8x. And negative 8 times plus 7 minus the 56, which is what we tried to create there. X squared by itself plus 7x minus 8x, that's minus an x. And then you have the minus 56 right there, which is exactly what we'd started with. So this is our answer. This factors, that trinomial factors down to this binomial times this binomial.